Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yay! We're going to do a 2-minute laugh, see who shows up, and then we're going to talk about trauma, and why we don't do the things that we say we're going to do, and why it's so challenging to do things some days, and how to get over it. So, first we're going to laugh. You're welcome to laugh along. You're welcome to do I love yous. I love you. 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 Good morning. I love you. 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 Mwah, mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. I love you. I love you. Good morning. Good morning. Who's hanging out with me this morning? Teresa. Good morning. Good morning. I love you. 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 Ah. Ah. Mwah. High fives to me. I did it. I finished it. It was super fast and it makes me feel awesome. Give you some mwah, loves up. Does anybody want to laugh with me? Teresa, you're there. It says we got 2 more. I don't know who the 2 more are, but if anybody wants to laugh with me, you're totally welcome to come laugh. Namaste. Babasi Joshi. Okay, so we're going to do, I'm just going to get my clock up here. We're going to do a 2-minute laugh, practicing laughing and loving and feeling fantastic. Yeah, would you like to join on the laugh, Baba? Why are we laughing? Because it feels good. Thank you, Teresa. Welcome, Matt, to the Laughgasm. Welcome, Danielle. We're laughing because it feels good. Feel free to join in. Do you want Tantra? I am Tantra. Actually, I'm Elantra, the Tantra with Elena. 1 minute down, next minute to go. Welcome, Chastity. If you're enjoying it, that's awesome. If you're uncomfortable, check in with why. Welcome, Chrissy. Hello, hello, you're so beautiful. Okay, we got about 30 seconds left, guys. If you're not already laughing, just... Okay. I see your invitation, Baba. Send me more info in a PM or something. I love you guys. So, we got our 2-minute laugh out of the way. Whew. Oh, part of the goodness of laughing is that when you hold a laugh, laughter is like this release of like it's okay and this feeling of it's okay to whatever's going on is okay. And so then when you force yourself to laugh and then you hold your laugh beyond when you really want to laugh, which I did because like maybe 1 minute I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of done. But then you can laugh at how soon you're going to be relieved from the experience of having to laugh and how ridiculous it is to be relieved about laughing about how funny it is to let go of how excited you were gonna be when you're done laughing. It's just this little like cycle. It makes it super funny. Anyway, I want to get back on to topic because I want to be super like and powerful today. So why is it so scary to do something new? It's scary for a couple of reasons. The first one would be the ego is attached to anything that it's doing on a regular basis. The ego is our sense of identity, sense of who we are, what we always do, and it's also takes a lot of energy to build new brain pathways. So brain pathways that are already existing, that are already there, are simple, safe, easy, fun, safe. And so anything that pushes you out of that, anything that requires more energy to create new brain pathways is like dangerous to the energy reserves of the human body. Okay? So that's one side of it from like sort of a science perspective. The other side of it is that trauma. So if we've done anything even remotely similar to what it is that we're doing, it's like, we're going to try something new. Well, the first time I tried something new, like when I was learning to walk, or when I went to school for the first time, or when I did something for the first time, I got hurt. It was scary. Or once I tried to do this and it didn't work and it really hurt me emotionally, or whatever those experiences are, we feel like we're not in control of it. We're not able to. And those feelings of pain, of suffering, they're attached to anything new. And when so then anything that's brand new becomes scary from a trauma perspective. And it becomes, and when I talk about trauma, I'm talking about like big T trauma and little T trauma. Big T trauma is like rape, abuse, incest, death of a spouse, major moves, lots of things. If you can think of another one, go ahead and put it in the comments. But big T trauma is all of those things. Little T trauma is anything that leaves us feeling helpless. Anything. And that could be, I don't feel like I'm in control of when I wake up in the morning because I have to go to a job. That creates little T trauma every day for a lot of people. Or I don't feel, when we're younger, it's like, I don't have a choice of going to school. And this whole video got started because I took Alex to the homeschooling program. The CBE runs a homeschooling program. And I'm really excited because I have like totally free space to do a whole bunch of work today, right? But like freedom from the feeling of that hey Sonny, great to see you on here, man. So there's this sense of freedom. But this morning I woke up and I'm like, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I want to cry. And it's my own trauma about school, my own painful experiences about school coming up, projecting them onto Alex, being like, I need to protect my son, I need to protect myself, I need to protect everybody from this experience, right? So that's my trauma coming up, making this experience that's actually somebody else's experience scary. So then, how does this tie into procrastination? Well, basically, most people are walking around uninformed, unaware of small T trauma, of those tiny little things that we do every day that dismantle our sense of freedom in the world, that dismantle our sense that we're in control of life, that we have free will, that we are allowed to have choice, And so those things have built up. And when we go to do something new, when we go to do something that we know is good for us, like, hey, I'm going to exercise today, or hey, I'm going to do that I love yous that Elena says we should do, or hey, Dustin, hey, Millie, too. I don't think I said hi to you. I'm really happy to see you on here, girl. Woman, sorry. So any of those moments where we are, we're wanting to do something new. So we're facing that like new brain pathway forming space. And then also we have this fear of things that have gone wrong in the past, trying something new. And we have all of that subconscious underlying small T trauma that says, doing things that are good for me, or doing things that I actually want to do gets me in trouble with my parents, my school, my partner, whoever it may be, right? It's like, we don't live in a culture, cancel. Most people were not raised in a culture that supported them to really follow their true authentic expression of what is most exciting for them. Most of us, myself included, and probably you guys, were raised in a culture that said, do this, be good, don't be too loud, don't be too quiet, don't be too shy, don't be too laughing, don't be. And so any form of radical self-expression, any form of like personal, like, oh, I feel like doing this, was fairly squashed for most people. And so there's small T trauma and big T trauma in there that stops us from doing the things that we know are good for us, because things that are fun, feel good, are enjoyable, want to do more of, are wrapped up with, I'm going to get squashed and rejected from society. Painful. So then we don't do it. And things we know we should do, it's like, well, we're used to it. Okay? There's this experience of we get used to living so disconnected and so separate from what is actually good and happy and our truth and our connection and our experience, that the pattern in the brain, the body is what needs to heal from this trauma. It's not the mind. The mind too, like the brain, the physical brain, yeah. But the consciousness, the awareness is free. It's available. It's, consciousness is consciousness. It's watching and witnessing all the time. We're not necessarily aware that we are that. But once we become aware of that, then the journey really becomes about healing the body, healing the mind, healing the brain pathways that are wired for trauma and for expecting trauma and for creating more trauma and for, experiencing that small t trauma, maybe big T trauma, depends on where you're at in your journey, right? So then those things that we should do become, we don't want to activate more of that trauma. We realize all the things we should do are just things that other people have told us to do, or maybe things we've told ourselves to do because we're forcing ourselves into it. Now, I'm not saying that you should quit your job, stop doing all the things that you should do, but you can start to reframe those things. You can start to look at them differently. And so one of the ways to do this is with this really cool hack that I don't know, cancel. I'm gonna claim it. I invented 2-week notice syndrome as a way of transforming an experience that you have with something, which is if you ever had a day job and you've ever given your 2 weeks notice, you know that by the time you worry about it, do I have another job lined up, blah, 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 blah. But then there's this crystalline moment where you're like, I'm going to give 2 weeks notice to my job. I'm going to give 2 weeks notice and this is not going to be an issue anymore. And then I'm not going to have to put up with that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy and that bullshit and this thing I hate doing every day. I'm not going to have to deal with any of it. Right? And then all of a sudden you start feeling way better. You still have to show up for the next 2 weeks to your job, but you're looking around and you're like, oh, my job's not so bad. That guy's not so annoying. That experience isn't so bad. Because you know that it's going to no longer be there. And what you've done is you've given a reprieve to the ego, because the ego deals in always or never. It doesn't have a sense of time. It's the ego, the fear part of the ego, the trauma part of the ego lives back in the reptilian brain, and it doesn't actually understand that there's a timeline. It's always or never. Anytime you hear yourself say always or never, that's always. That's a moment where you are in a fear state and you are looking to create security for yourself. So as soon as we say, hey, in 2 weeks, this is not even going to be an issue. It's not even going to be an issue. And it might be on an emotional level. Welcome, Pat. It might be, yeah, Alicia, great to be catching you too. It might be on an emotional level that it's not an issue, or it might be on a physical level because you're actually quitting a job, right? But basically, you can let go of the emotional turmoil about something and be like, 2 weeks from now, will this be a problem? And one of the things that we do through the Joygasm Manifestation Group is we work in this 2 weeks increments and we raise a vibe way the heck up, and then we're able to create something different. We're able to create a different experience of life emotionally first, and then it ripples out on the outside. So, hey Lou, good to see you, girl. Woman, sorry, training myself. Yeah. So that's some of the reasons why we don't. And if you've watched this and you've been enjoying this, that's fantastic. Please, I've got things to say and I've got people to help, and I really appreciate you guys sharing and commenting and sharing what was really valuable for you from this, and sharing that with your friends. It's not the more people get great messages about small t trauma, about being their radical selves, the better. And I have a challenge for you, which is to choose one thing in your life that is, challenging for you right now. Maybe not the most challenging thing, but maybe the 5th most challenging thing. And look at that and be like, okay, I'm going to imagine right now, I'm going to spend 2 minutes imagining that thing is just 2 weeks from now is not even a problem anymore. Not even a moment. Don't even think about it as a problem. Great to see you too, Lou. Don't even think about it as something that's troublesome. Yeah? It's just gone. And spend 2 minutes really anchoring into that and feeling that. And then just notice how much better you feel. And then after that, notice how you interact with that moment, with that situation, with that person, whatever it may be. I'm creating some really amazing morning meditations. If you want in on those, send me a yes in the comments and I'll make sure you get links to them. Reprogramming your brain first thing in the morning, last thing at night is really powerful because your subconscious is super available and you're able to put whatever it is that you want in there. And I've seen radical shifts in my own behavior and in other people's behavior as a result of listening to these tracks. They're just 2 minutes before bed, when you wake up. Let me know if you want some of that. I love you guys. Yes, says Alicia. That's fantastic. If anybody else, if you're watching the replay or if you're here live, would love to see you. And before I go, I want to share one tiny more little story because I've always got another story, which is that I got the opportunity to hug not my son's dad, but the representation of somebody who's in the space that my son's dad was at when we first broke up, like 7 years ago, it was like 5 years ago or whatever it was now. That experience, you know, being where I am now, being in this place where I'm like, I love life, I love people, I love the experience, like, and then getting to hug somebody who's like freshly heartbroken, you know, substance abuse stuff, like just yucky, like, and being like, wow, I remember that. I remember how hard that was. I remember how painful that was. And to be able to have that experience and be like, oh, I love you. I remember that. And I'm so grateful that I'm not there anymore. And I'm so grateful that I can like hold you and support you in this moment, you know? It's a really beautiful experience. And just something that I'm like celebrating today, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you and invite you also, because I've always got more invitations, but like right now, take like 10 seconds. I'm going to count it out for you after I stop talking, and just think about something that you've really transcended, a moment that you've really like, you're like, wow, like it used to be really tough and I'm not there anymore, and that's fantastic. I'm going to count that down for you guys, and then I'm going to sign off. I love you. Be yourself. By being yourself, you do change the world. Rock on, stay joygasmic, love life, play hard, get your butt out of that matrix, and have so much fun. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It makes me feel so great to see you here, and to see you guys on the replay and your comments and everything. Love you. 10 seconds for something that you've transcended, just pondering that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace.